My name's Rick Watson, and I'm a graduate student at Liberty University. My wife is Debbie, and my granddaughter's Ashton, and this is our home. And I get to serve as chaplain at the Highway 80 Rescue Mission in Longview, Texas. And because I care about people, my overarching goal in regards to communication is focused listening. Why? What's the purpose of focused listening? Well, Stewart says that the quality of life is the quality of our communication. And if this is true, then I can enhance the quality of my life by practicing focused listening. In fact, Stewart gives a mathematical equation to accomplish this, which he calls contact quotient. And it looks like a fraction, with the numerator being the quality of contact achieved and the denominator being the quality of the contact possible. You might ask, what does this focused listening look like? Well, it looks like the person's engaged, like they're paying attention. They'd be making eye contact, and if they're sitting down, they might be leaning forward, showing interest. Verbally, they might be repeating back some things which were just said, or paraphrasing what was said. So what can I do to enlarge my conversation? What is the process? Well, physically, I can put myself in the here and now, because yesterday's just a memory and tomorrow's just a dream. All that I really have is right here, right now. And mentally, so often I'll hear something that'll take me back to that memory or project me forward into that dream. And if I'll catch myself doing this, I can refocus my mind on the speaker. And spiritually, through the process of focused listening, I can make that spiritual connection with the speaker. Mels Carbonell of Uniquely You Resources says that I have behavioral blends. This is who I am. This is what I bring to the relationship. Some qualities like inspiring, directing, and steady. Well, these are behaviors that have either a positive or a negative effect on the relationship. The negative side of being inspiring in regards to a conversation is that many times I'm inspired as the speaker is saying something, and I connect with them so much so that I blurt out or interrupt and tell them what's going on the inside of me. The negative side of directing, which is a good quality, is that I can take it to the extreme of being controlling. And the passive, reserved side of steady is submissive. Well, the positive spin on these behaviors is that knowing who I am and what's inside of me, I can use my inspiration to be empathetic. That is, when I connect with that person who's speaking to me, I can put myself in their shoes. That's what empathetic is. And I can use my directing, controlling nature as a nexting tool in the conversation. And I can use that steady, submissive tendency to let the other person be themselves, not to label them, judge them, or try and change them. Some potential barriers that could get in the way of enlarging my conversation are time and fear and self. So often the time constraints that I put on myself or that somebody has put on me gets in the way of an opportunity to enlarge the conversation. Too often someone's standing in front of me and willing to share a piece of their life with me, and I'll be thinking about that next appointment or that deadline that needs to be met. Fear is another potential barrier which could prevent a relationship from growing. The question becomes, do I want to open myself up to this person? And am I willing to take the risk of building or possibly even breaking this relationship? Self is no doubt the biggest potential barrier for me. The bottom line truth is, many times I'm too selfish to totally give myself to the other person, to apply the effort that it takes, the effort that's involved in focused listening. So what is the solution? Well, the solution is knowing what's really important. And I think that people are really important. And my relationship with them is worth the risk of getting my feelings hurt or crossing over some bridge of fear and allowing myself to be vulnerable and available, opening myself up to them and allowing them to be open with me. and humbling myself, knowing that I'm not the center of the universe and it's not all about me. So what am I going to do to enlarge my conversation? What is my plan of action for focused listening? Well, I plan to pray, to practice, and to persevere. I think St. Francis of Assisi summed it up real well with this prayer. And he said, Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardoned. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying that we are born to eternal life. You know, I get lots of opportunities to practice this plan every time I come in contact with another person. And if I never quit, I will persevere. Thank you for listening to me.